I keep talking about how I've been, studying how just global economies work in general and just economies broadly speaking. Because what Leo is essentially an economy. So, the way for Leo to grow in terms of market cap to, the $1 billion market cap vision that I have for where we should be headed. Um, whether that takes 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years. I think we get to $1 billion in market cap by capturing value from external ecosystems and bringing it in. So to capture value, that essentially for a global economy like, the United States or, any other country, what that means is you're exporting products and services to other countries and they're paying you for those products and services. And by exporting those things, you bring in capital from the outside and you grow your economy and you turn raw materials into exports. So, what are the raw materials of Inleo? Primarily premium, Inleo premium, which is obviously subscription revenue, which is, very valuable for any business. And then um, you've also got the Leo Dex swap revenue. So the ability for people to swap assets on Leo Dex, and then we collect a fee from Maya, and that brings revenue and value capture into the Leo economy. And then you've also got when we add chain flip, Thorchain and Rango, those are
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I'm a fan of people experimenting with AI. I had a conversation this morning about AI on Hive and my thoughts on it in general. Obviously I'm against people using AI to farm the rewards pool. That being said, um, I I think it's a lot better for people on Hive to be experimenting with AI rather than, allowing people that aren't on anywhere. I think everybody can agree on that. Not even people who don't like it know that it's not going anywhere. Um, and it's much better to have people who have Hive's best interest in heart creating AI than having people who want to extract value from Hive creating AI. And it's kind of that, age old put yourself out of business or innovate yourself, out of business essentially. And, I think that people on Hive should be experimenting with AI and understanding how it works. And the better we understand it and use it, the better we can defend against it from people who are trying to extract value because AI by itself is not value extractive. Like just the fact that it's AI doesn't mean that, okay, this sucks for Hive because it's AI. That's just not true. What's true is how it's utilized, how it's in place, and what we have to defend against it. So, I know for Leo, we've built a lot of mechanisms to defend, the referral system and other things against AI because that's obviously been an attack vector. And then we've also done other things to defend our stats and the way that we display them. We just released in the last couple of days that new inleo.io/stats dashboard, which you can find by clicking the more menu. So we just released that. And one thing that we have to do there is have filtering mechanisms because people do create AI accounts and then we have to filter them out from our data. And people also do create AI accounts and try to extract value from the Leo economy. So, I know there's been a lot of pushback. I don't even know if I'd say a lot of pushback. I'd say there's been pushback from certain people regarding AI. And my response to them would be you personally should be studying AI. You should be encouraging other hivers to study AI and to use it and find ways to leverage it. Because the more that we understand and know how to use it, and the more that we actually do use it, the better we can defend against. We didn't want to do that. Like we wanted to make it a product for Hive. Like we make no money from Hive stats. It's a net loss. But it's just a way that we add value to the Hive blockchain, and provide again like a service to Hive. So we just pushed a couple updates to it, a lot of just visual things and updating some links. We haven't made an update to Hive Stats in a really long time, just because we've been focused obviously on the InLeo and LeoDex core product. So those updates are all live. And then I also in that blog post asked you guys for feedback. So if you can go to that blog post, look at the new Hive Stats, so open up Hive Stats. I'll drop a link in the Threadcast right now. That'll take you there. Give us some feedback on what you want to see added next, because we're gonna get the roadmap ready and then push some updates to Hive Stats in the very near future. So head over to Hive Stats, head over to that blog post. Um, tell us what you're waiting to see, because we'll add more features and things to make life better, ultimately for hivers. So outside of all that, I think that pretty much catches us up. You got stats in terms of the technical developments. You've got the stats dashboard that we launched. You've got the Hive Stats update that we launched. You got the pilot program for Leo merchants that we launched. You got a few theoretical posts about why we should do these collaborations in the first place. Some of the kind of publicly answering some of the questions that I've gotten behind closed doors when it comes to the InLeo proposal. And then behind the scenes, we are working on the chain flip, Thorchain and Rango integrations into LeoDex. So those are all actually getting added kind of at the same time. If you're familiar with Thorchain at all, and ThorSwap, ThorSwap created something called SwapKit, and we're essentially creating our own version of SwapKit where it'll allow swaps across all four protocols, so Maya, Rango, Thorchain, and Chainflip simultaneously, and it'll just pick the best price and best time for your swap, and then it'll give it to you on the UI. So and we'll do that. But I was kind of saying before too, the focus right now is on refining the experience. So, fixing bugs, making things work flawlessly. You guys have noticed the InLeo UI is smoother than it's ever been. And that's been a major focus of ours. So keep posting threads with hashtag feedback. I try to respond to most of them, but even if I don't respond, just understand that me and the team see them every day. So keep posting feedback. When you find a bug, report it as intricately and with details as possible, because then we can get it fixed and keep pushing forward. When we onboard new users, we're going for as bug-free of an experience as possible. So yeah, just keep reporting stuff and use details if you can in those threads, because it definitely helps. You may not see it right away, but over time you should see that any bug that gets reported is getting fixed. So it has a very material impact.
Yep. Share the bugs so they can get fixed. No doubt. All right, well, and it's a few minutes after 1. I know you got to bounce.
Yeah, any closing thoughts from you?
No, just, sitting waiting for the quote unquote bull market, and in the meantime, just watching all the growth items on the InLeo docket, and looking forward to when the community is 10x the size it is now.
Awesome. Yeah, I also am looking forward to those things, and obviously we're pushing hard for them on a daily basis. The $1 billion Leo economy vision hasn't gone away at all, and I think if we just keep pushing forward on these collaborations and the technology, refining the experience, like I said, and really importantly, capturing value from other economies and bringing it back to Hive and InLeo, that's how we're going to succeed in a huge way. So. In a huge way. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming. I've just dropped a link to an X space with the Dash team that we're doing tomorrow at noon Eastern. So we're having a little bit of a friendly competition to see who can bring the most users. So Dash is going to try to bring as many people as possible, and we are going to try to bring as many people as possible. So I just dropped that X link. I'll be putting out a bunch of other announcements about it, but all the spaces are scheduled and scheduled by the Dash team, and those schedules are all live. So set a reminder for the space. Watch out for the threadcast. The Dash team will be posting a threadcast, and let's make it a big impact. I want to have as many people in there as possible. So we're going to go for at least 100 people in that space at noon Eastern tomorrow. So same time as the AMA.